before the world asks anything from you. Let this moment belong only to you. The morning is quiet here, slower than the rest of the world, softer than the thoughts that usually rush through your mind the moment you wake up. The ocean moves gently in the distance, steady and unhurried, while the wind passes softly through the air, moving the hanging hoodie back and forth with a calm rhythm that asks nothing from you except your presence. And for now, that is enough. You do not need to become productive yet. You do not need to think through your entire day. You do not need to carry every responsibility all at once before this morning has even fully begun. You are allowed to arrive here slowly, to let your breathing settle naturally, to let your thoughts soften without forcing them to disappear. There is nothing wrong with beginning gently. In fact, maybe this is exactly what you have needed. A moment where no one is asking anything from you. A moment where you can hear yourself again, underneath all the noise you normally carry. And as the wind continues to move around you, steady and effortless, you can start to notice that you do not need to hold so much tension in your body right now. Your shoulders can soften, your jaw can relax, your breathing can deepen naturally without effort. There is nowhere you need to rush toward in this exact moment. You are safe to begin your day slowly. You are safe to think clearly instead of urgently. And you are safe to move through this morning without immediately abandoning yourself to pressure. The ocean does not rush its movement. The wind does not force itself to arrive faster. Everything here moves with patience, with rhythm, with trust in its own timing. And maybe you are allowed to do the same. Maybe your life does not need to be lived at the speed of pressure in order to matter. Maybe you are allowed to slow down enough to actually feel your own presence again. Because underneath all the overthinking, underneath the expectations, underneath the constant feeling that you need to be doing more, there is still a version of you that knows how to breathe calmly, how to think clearly, how to move steadily without panic guiding every step. And that version of you is still here. You have not lost yourself. You are simply learning how to return to yourself more often. Today does not need to begin with stress for it to become meaningful. Today does not require you to immediately prove your worth through productivity, perfection, or constant movement. Your worth is not measured by how quickly you push yourself past your own limits. Your worth is already here, already steady, already enough before the day even fully starts. And as the waves continue their slow movement in the distance, you can let yourself breathe just a little deeper again, letting your mind settle into the same rhythm, steady, calm, unforced. You are becoming someone who no longer needs chaos in order to feel productive. Someone who can stay grounded while still moving forward. Someone who trusts their own pace instead of constantly fearing they are falling behind. You are allowed to move through this day one moment at a time, one thought at a time, one task at a time, one breath at a time. You do not need to carry everything at once. And you do not need to become a completely different person overnight in order to build a better life for yourself. Growth can be quiet. Healing can be quiet. Confidence can be quiet too. Not loud or performative, just steady, calm, real. And that quiet strength is already growing inside you, even in the moments where you think nothing is changing. Every morning you choose to slow down instead of panic. Every moment you choose awareness instead of reaction. every breath you take before rushing into the world. You are building a more stable version of yourself, and that stability will stay with you long after this morning ends. Because this calm is not separate from you. It is part of you. Something you can return to whenever the world becomes too loud, too fast, too demanding. And even now, as the morning slowly begins to brighten around you, you remain here for one more quiet moment. Even if life has felt uncertain lately, even if progress has been slower than you hoped, even if there are parts of yourself you are still rebuilding quietly where nobody else can see, you are still moving forward. And every calm morning like this is proof that something inside you is still choosing growth instead of giving up. The waves continue to return to the shore again and again without questioning their direction. And you are allowed to trust your own direction too, even if you cannot see the full path yet. You do not need to have your entire future figured out this morning. You only need to take the next step clearly and honestly when the moment arrives. And you are capable of that. You are more capable than your self-doubt allows you to believe sometimes. There are already difficult things you have survived, already moments you thought would break you, that you somehow carried yourself through anyway. And that strength still exists inside you now, even on the quiet mornings where you feel uncertain about yourself. You are learning that confidence is not loud. It is not perfection. It is not always feeling fearless. Sometimes confidence is simply waking up again, breathing deeply, and continuing forward without abandoning yourself. Sometimes strength looks like patience. Sometimes growth looks quiet from the outside. And sometimes the most important progress happens in moments exactly like this, where you choose calm instead of panic, presence instead of pressure, belief instead of hopelessness. You are becoming someone who no longer needs chaos in order to feel productive. Someone who can move steadily toward their goals without destroying their peace in the process. And that kind of growth lasts longer, because it is built with awareness instead of fear. So as the wind continues to move softly around you, and the morning light slowly expands across the water, let yourself believe something simple today. Your life is not over, because it has taken longer than expected. You are not failing, because you are still figuring things out. And you are not weak for needing moments like this to reconnect with yourself before stepping back into the world. These quiet moments are helping you become clearer, steadier, more intentional in the way you move through your life. And as this morning continues, you can carry that energy with you, not as pressure to suddenly become perfect, but as a quiet reminder that you are already growing, even now, one breath at a time, one morning at a time, one decision at a time. And little by little, your life begins to change from that place of steady commitment to yourself, rather than fear of falling behind. You are allowed to trust that process now. You are allowed to trust yourself now. And maybe that trust does not need to arrive all at once. Maybe it grows quietly, the same way the morning slowly brightens over the ocean, almost unnoticed at first, until one day you realize the darkness is no longer holding the same weight it used to. You are changing in small ways every time you choose to keep going with kindness toward yourself instead of criticism. Every time you pause before panic. Every time you breathe before reacting. Every time you decide that your future is still worth believing in. And there will be moments today where your mind tries to pull you back into pressure, doubt, or comparison. But you do not have to follow every fearful thought that appears. You can return to this feeling instead, this steady rhythm of the waves, this calm movement of the wind, this reminder that your life does not need to be rushed in order to become meaningful. You are allowed to build slowly and still succeed. You are allowed to protect your peace while still moving toward your goals. And you are allowed to believe that better things are still ahead for you, even if you cannot fully see them yet. Because deep down, there is already a part of you that knows you are not meant to stay stuck forever. A part of you that still believes in what your life could become. And this morning, that belief becomes just a little stronger again.